I know what you're thinking. Grandmaster, didn't you already make this video? Nope. What you saw before was my review of the INNOLIFE MMA boxing speed trainer punching bag spinning bar. Yes, you heard me correctly. This time, I'm reviewing the INNOLIFE boxing speed spinning bar training punching pad burn calories reflex tri-bag stand. Yes, you heard me correctly. INNOLIFE was kind enough to send me these in exchange for reviews. Why they sent me their top of the line product first and then followed up with this one, I'll never know. After reviewing the best they had to offer and being very pleased with it, I found the experience with this lower tier product to be a little bit challenging. Let me break it down for you. If you're gonna buy one of these, then you need to know that it doesn't come assembled. But that's alright, because I'm gonna walk you through it. There's several different pieces, but I'm not even tripping, because I got all the time in the world. A lot of people are getting that cabin fever right now because of the coronavirus, and they're feeling all cooped up and everything. But I've been on house arrest for like 5 months already. I don't even know what day it is. Honestly, whenever I put stuff like this together, it could be a little bit overwhelming because I see all the possibilities, you know? So I get a little bit distracted because I think outside the box. Fortunately, there were instructions inside the box. Once you've identified all the parts, it's time to fill the base. You could use sand or water. I chose water in case the quarantine lasts longer than we think and the government wants to shut down my utilities. I'm gonna have a nice little supply. And then I'm gonna keep recirculating it with my pee, like Lyoto Machida. You just gotta be careful not to overfill it. Remember, you can always recirculate it later. Unfortunately, I overfilled it so much that I knew it would start spilling upon impact, so I had to come up with a method of extraction. Once the base is filled, you're gonna want to fill the donut, but don't let it fool you. It doesn't need air, it needs water. Then you're gonna wanna put on the little styrofoam thing. It's kinda like a washer that goes between the base and the bottom of the pole. Take a moment to appreciate the pump. And if you're recording it, maybe make sure that you can see it in the frame. Screw it on, and then get ready to enjoy the fruit of your labor. You already know that I don't get down with gloves, but I know that a lot of people do. And I don't think that it would be fair of me to alienate them just because they have soft hands. But to their credit, you gotta have unbelievable hand-eye coordination to do your striking with gloves on, because you can't even feel what you're hitting, so you have to purely go off your sense of sight. I haven't even taken the gloves off, and it's already starting to lean on me. Is this a reflection of the product, or because I don't know my own strength? I'm thinking both. But that's enough of the glove-friendly content. It's time to let these hands go. after I try fixing this pole. The first thing I noticed is that it doesn't always do what you think it will. There were several times when I hit it that it just stopped moving. Mira, I'm used to people stopping in place when I hit them, but not spinning bars. And then I learned when you hit the head ball, it makes the pole wobble and sometimes causes the spinning bar to stop moving. This showed me that I needed to be on my guard. This thing had a mind of its own. Now you could do the same things with this one as with any other spinning bar. You could punch it, practice blocking, hand swords, hammer fists, heel palms, footsies, level changes, slipping, and eye pokes. But listen, I'm gonna be honest, the looseness of this pole slightly gave it the feel of a double land bag. I know that the boxing enthusiasts will say that it's not even close, but the back and forth motion that it tends to have gives it much more movement than the typical spinning bar. The padding on this product is significantly softer than the one on its big brother. So for those of you not quite used to striking without gloves, this is the perfect gateway spinning bar. For me, it was a little too soft, but for you, it's probably perfect. I noticed as I was hitting the spinning bar that this head ball has much more head movement than the last one, which I think is a good thing because then it makes it more challenging. I wish they could find a way to not have so much distance between the spinning bar and the head ball, but I feel like this is the case with every spinning bar product that I've seen out there. I understand that in real life, fools' arms aren't attached to their head. But in this case, I'm trying to hit his head, and he's trying to hit my head, so I'd like it to be at the same level. For now, I'll just assume that fool's taller. If you want, you can adjust it. Just know that he'll be socking you in the shoulder and chest instead of face. So you learn all of these things, and then you just try to have some fun. The way I look at it, this is just like any other spinning bar setup. Plus one thing, it's unpredictable, which is perfect. A lot of fools get too caught up in the rhythm of it, and it can become a sort of dance. And then the moment things get switched up on them, they're not gonna know how to react. This loosey-goosey spinning bar will teach you how to both strike and avoid the most wiry of opponents. One of my favorite features of this product is the chin training. Like I mentioned before, it's not that hard, so you can actually use the spinning bar to test your chin. This is not necessary for myself, as my head movement is impetuous. But this may come in handy for the BJJ practitioners and fools that talk a lot of papas. And don't sleep on the kicking pad. Although you could sleep on it, it's very cushiony. This is perfect for oblique kicks. And if it's too soft, you could even use the bottom. You could also work on your side kicks to the shin, which are very underrated if you ask me. I don't care what Shane Faison says. This was my very first time using this, and as you can see, the bar's already pretty crooked. But this simply plays into its erratic nature, and it forces me to be better. It's like when you spar with a newbie, and they seem even more dangerous than a colored rank because they're so wild. It lets you know where you stand. Like I mentioned in the other video, one of my favorite things to work on is point of origin striking with a moving target. And this spinning bar has some funky timing. I'll be honest. At a certain point, I was kind of just trying to see if I could break it. But it stood the test of time, and it earned my respect. Mira, my favorite toy is still the INNOLIFE MMA boxing speed trainer punching bag spinning bar. But if you want something that's less expensive and more unpredictable, then you might like this INNOLIFE boxing speed spinning bar training punching pad burn calories reflex tri bag stand. You can find the link down below. Thank you for watching Mexican Martial Arts. Appreciate it. Good looking out. Late.